Most people think billionaires hire based on resumes, degrees, experience, references. That's what poor thinking looks like. Real billionaires don't hire skills first. They hire character. And the most powerful hiring test isn't written on paper. It's written into human behavior. Let me tell you a story. Mr. Arthur Sterling wasn't asleep. His eyes were closed. His breathing was slow and heavy. His frail body rested deep in the burgundy velvet of his favorite armchair. To an outsider, he looked like a harmless old man drifting into an afternoon nap. But behind those eyelids, Arthur Sterling was fully awake. At 75 years old, Arthur had built an empire: hotels, shipping lines, technology firms. He had more money than he could spend in 10 lifetimes. But there was one thing he no longer had: trust. Over the years, staff had stolen from him, partners had betrayed him, even his own children only visited to discuss his will. Arthur had come to believe a brutal truth: give people a chance to take something without consequences, and they will. So when Arthur hired new staff, he didn't rely on interviews. He relied on tests. And today, another test was about to begin. The rain hammered against the mansion windows. Inside the library, Arthur had arranged the stage perfectly. On a small mahogany table, inches from his relaxed hand, sat an open envelope. Inside it, $5,000 in cash. Visible, tempting, carelessly placed. It looked like the mistake of a forgetful old billionaire. It wasn't. It was bait. The door opened. A young maid named Sarah entered quietly. She had worked at the Sterling mansion for only 3 weeks. Arthur knew her file well. Widow. Husband died in a factory accident. Debts. A 7-year-old son named Leo. Because of the storm, schools were closed. Sarah had no babysitter. Desperate, she brought her son to work, risking everything. Arthur heard her urgently. "Stay here, Leo. Don't move. Don't touch anything. If you wake him up, Mommy loses her job." "Yes, Mommy." Arthur stayed still. Sarah left the room. Now it was just the billionaire and the child. Arthur waited. He expected curiosity, movement, greed. 5 minutes passed. Nothing. Then, soft footsteps. The boy stood up. Arthur tensed. Here it comes, he thought. The child approached the armchair, slow, hesitant. Arthur imagined the headlines in his mind. Another thief exposed. But the money wasn't touched. Instead, Arthur felt a light, gentle touch on his arm, a small hand, then warmth across his legs. The boy had taken off his jacket and placed it over Arthur like a blanket. "You're cold," Leo whispered. "Mommy says sick people shouldn't get cold." Arthur's heart skipped. This wasn't part of the test. The boy noticed the envelope slipping near the table's edge. He didn't take it. He pushed it back safely. Then he picked up Arthur's fallen notebook, dusted it off, and placed it beside the money. "Safe now," the boy whispered. Then he returned to the corner, shivering. Arthur realized something terrifying. He hadn't trapped a thief. He had tested integrity. And it passed, without knowing it was being tested. When Sarah returned and saw the scene, she panicked. Arthur woke up. He accused them of damaging his chair. He demanded $500 for restoration. This was deliberate. The second test wasn't about money. It was about how people behave under pressure. Would the mother blame the child? Would the child lie? Would fear destroy their character? Sarah begged to work for free. Then Arthur turned to Leo. "What do you have to say for yourself?" Leo reached into his pocket. He pulled out a broken toy car, missing a wheel. "My daddy's," he said softly. "He was the fastest." The boy placed it on the table. "You can have it to pay for the chair. I don't want you mad at Mommy." Arthur broke. Arthur Sterling finally understood something every elite employer knows. Money reveals nothing. Pressure reveals everything. Skills can be taught. Loyalty can't. You don't hire people who take when they can. You hire people who protect when no one is watching. Arthur gave Sarah the money, not as charity, but as a bonus. He kept the toy car, and he made Leo an offer. "Come here after school, do your homework, teach an old man how to be human again." Arthur paid for Leo's education. Years later, Arthur left his entire empire, not to blood, but to character. The Billionaire's Lesson. In his final letter, Arthur wrote, "I hired many intelligent people, but only one person ever passed my true test. He didn't see money. He saw a human being." Leo grew into a billionaire of a different kind. He built schools. He fixed broken systems. He invested in people. And when asked how he succeeded, he would smile and say, "Kindness was my first investment, and it paid the highest return." Final takeaway. Billionaires don't look for talent first. They look for who you are when no one is watching. Because character compounds faster than money. If you understand that wealth starts in the mind before it reaches the bank, subscribe to Elite Money Club. Here, we don't just talk about money. We talk about the psychology that creates it. Because money follows mindset. Always.